In an industry that builds nations, information is power. Insight is strategy. The steel and mining industry drives the backbone of modern infrastructure. But in a rapidly changing market, every decision needs reliable intelligence. It began with a simple idea: a morning WhatsApp news update for the steel and mining industry. The updates quickly gained industry participation and credibility across the sector. This growing community led to the formation of Metalogic Research and Advisory. During the global disruption of COVID, we launched our digital intelligence platform, mymetalogic.com. A central hub delivering market intelligence, industry analysis, and strategic insights. From daily market movements to weekly strategic analysis, our reports keep the industry informed. Our consultancy services support businesses with market research, commodity pricing, and industry analysis. Through myMetalogic memberships, industry professionals gain exclusive access to market intelligence and premium reports. myMetalogic, intelligence powering the future of the steel and mining industry. India's steel and mining industry is evolving faster than ever. But real progress happens when ideas, technology, and leadership come together. With 10+ years of experience, Metalogic has been connecting the steel ecosystem through impactful industry platforms across Pan-India. We bring together CXOs, plant heads, innovators, and decision-makers shaping the future of steel and mining. Focused events for the steel and mining sector. Tailored, customized events designed for your business goals. Research-driven forums delivering real industry insights. Powerful product and company launches that capture attention. Because we don't just host events, we create industry brands. From brainstorming sessions to live demonstrations, we create spaces where innovation comes alive, and exhibitions that showcase the technologies shaping tomorrow. Metalogic events, connecting ideas, industry, and innovation. Join us to shape the future of steel and mining.
everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our speakers, participants joining us today. Good afternoon. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to Metalogic 65th webinar on the theme of Need for Indigenization of Defense Engineering Projects, Role of Alloy and Specialty Steel. I am Monica Bachchan Duvuri, founder of Metalogic Projects Management Service. On behalf of entire Metalogic team, I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished speakers and participants who have joined us from across the country. India today is witnessing a transformational shift in its defense manufacturing ecosystem. With the government's strong emphasis on Atmanirbhar Bharat, indigenous capability development has become a strategic necessity rather than merely an economic objective. From the armor that protects our soldiers to the missiles that safeguards our skies, from strategic air base to military hospitals built in record time, every defense asset begins with one fundamental element: advanced materials. And at the heart of these materials lies alloy and specialty steel, the backbone of India's journey towards defense self-reliance. In this journey, alloy and specialty steel play a pivotal role. These advanced materials provide superior strength, toughness, and corrosion resistance, heat resistance, and reliability required for critical defense applications operating under extreme conditions. Developing indigenous capabilities in specialty materials is therefore essential to reducing import dependence, strengthening national security, and building a global competitive defense manufacturing ecosystem. Beyond conventional structural application, the future of defense engineering also depends on advanced material technologies such as radar absorbing coatings, anti radar paints, and specialized surface engineering solutions that enhance stealth capabilities and survivability of defense platforms. When combined with indigenous alloy and specialty steel developments, these advanced materials can significantly strengthen India's technological edge and strategic self-reliance in modern warfare systems. Before we begin today's discussion, I would like to take this opportunity to invite all our esteemed speakers and participants to Metallogic's ninth annual conference on Make in Steel, Make in Bharat, which will be held on 13th of August at Lee Meridian, New Delhi. Today's webinar aims to bring together experts from defense organization, military engineering, strategic industries, and specialty steel manufacturing to discuss the opportunities, challenges, and future roadmap for strengthening India's self-reliance in defense engineering through advanced materials. It is now my privilege to introduce our esteemed panel of speakers. We have Mr. Vienna Naidu, IOFS, Chief General Manager, Design and Development Center, OFMK Hyderabad Armored Vehicle Nigam Limited. We have Mr. Sanjay Kumar Mittal, Director, Architect, Headquarters, Chief Engineer, Air Force, Prayagraj Zone, Military Engineer Service, Ministry of Defense. We have Mr. A.K. Singh, Director, Planning, Chief Engineer, Air Force Prayagraj Zone, Military Engineer Service, Ministry of Defense, and Mr. Shailendra Billa, Chief Strategic Business Unit, Special Material, Defense and Aerospace at Jindal Stainless. I welcome you all. I sincerely thank all our distinguished speakers for taking time from their busy schedule to share their valuable insights with us. Now we will start the webinar and I'll take up questions by questions. I request all the audience to stay attentive as we will also be having some quiz questions, poll questions to take it from you. So the first question goes to Mr. Vienna Naidu. Sir, modern armored vehicle require material that combine high strength with reduced weight. How is India progressing in indigenous material development for next generation armored platforms, sir? Over to you. Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. This last, from 70s, we were having a transfer of technology for a steel manufacturing from Russian origin, T series of tanks, where we have been using spade armor, jackal armor, and 54 pi armor. All these origin is from Russia. However, our Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory, Hyderabad, in combined efforts of SAIL as a production agency, so we could able to meet all the requirements as per the ghost specifications. Now the time has come that T series tanks manufacturing still is on, but the numbers have been reduced because of the modern scenario and modern tanks requirement. Now everybody is looking for a light armor vehicles with enhanced ballistic protection or blast protection, wherein we can add so many other systems onto the AFVs, that is armored fighting vehicles, because of the recent scenarios we witness, because we need now mostly air defense systems mounted on the tanks. Aerial objects, we need to counter them with systems mounted. Earlier, this was not the case. It was only the land will occupy in the forward areas and protect our own. So in this scenario, now again the DMRL has come up with certain specialized steels, which Midhani and many other industries have been given TOT license for manufacturing within the country. So in that, to name few who have taken, like Midhani anyway it is there, SAIL also taking, and besides that, AMNS, that is ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel, is one of the very actively involving in the developing these steels, and also JSL, Jindal Steels, and I understand Jindal stainless steels also have few grades of ballistic protection, which JD grades. So, and besides this, we got so many other, foreign vendors which have set up their indigenous, our India offices, where they will get it here and do certain value addition and sell it to the finished component stage. So to name a few, like we got a Saab, Sweber, and we got like Industeel, France. These are the guys who are having this, and majorly I can say HHA. Earlier it was a rolled homogeneous armor called RHA. Now in that, if you say high hardness steel, medium hardness steel, and light hardness steel, that is structural steel, and then it is evolved like high nitrogen steel, also one of the the modern steels which having very high strength. All these are depending on the application where it is being used, and the weldability, the formability, and the other properties, and this depends on this. Definitely now we are self-sustained, but only constraint is the numbers. If you want to put a steel mill, it is a very highly capital intensive industry where you need thousands of tons of requirement of steel. And if you see any tank of T series, it will be having a 50-55 tons weight, in which you have 20-30 tons. But 20-30 tons, in how many numbers in a year you will produce? This all matters. The rolling setup and the heat treatment setup, if you do it, it costs thousands of crores. Where the rate, the return on investment also matters here. That is why we may be not very much, uh, encouraged because of the low tonnage requirement of the steels. Yes, I think I have answered your.
Thank you. Going forward to Mr. A.K. Singh, sir, I wanted to ask you, India has made a significant progress in producing structural steel domestically. From your experience, how self-reliant are we today in defense structural engineering projects? Over to you. Sir, please unmute. Anil, sir, please unmute.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
As brought out by the earlier speaker, uh, we have got certain shortcomings as far as the good alloy material is concerned. If we go back in the history, we have produced the steel during the Mauryas period. That the steel which is there kept at Delhi and at Varanasi, that has not yet got the rust. So we were quite ahead in the time in the olden days. Now we are lacking behind. Normally in defense project, we use the products which are normally available. One peculiar issue came when I was doing one project in 1213. It was a baffle range project wherein we wanted plates, armored plates. And armored plates were not being produced that time in India. So we had to import. It was 2 meter by 1 meter plate, and the import process was quite difficult. Like we have to give the demand to our higher headquarter that they used to place it to some Indian company. And that Indian company was not producing it; it was actually importing it. So the import license was required. Then we had to spend what is our need. So with a lot of delay, we got the material and then we got it fixed. I have checked up recently. Now this plate is being produced in India now by Hindustan Steel Corporation. Those days we used to get the plates. Now since it has come from outside, so we used to take one extra plate, and that plate was to be sent to TBRL Chandigarh for testing. Okay, what is the impact of bullet on these plates? And then we used to reserve that plate as a sample. The another thing not directly related with me when I was at Goa. Nowadays, this cable stayed bridge is in commonly in use. Like India has got vast rivers, and to reduce the cost, we are going for the cable stayed bridge. During the COVID time, that bridge work has stopped because we could not get the cables. And I came to know that this high strength cable, steel cable, this was being imported from the China. And China that time has banned that this material will not be imported. So that bridge work was not progressed because of non-delivery of that material. So at times, not receiving the material causes delay in producing it, and it has got cost, time over, and delays also there. Besides this, we use corrosion resistant steel in our jetty work. That earlier used to be not of good quality because that time we used to get the steel, and the steel has got a coating, outside coating, which is they say it is corrosion resistant. What was happening during the transportation, by the time it reaches to the site, that corrosion resistant coating gets removed due to this handling. But this problem has also been resolved to a quite great extent. Now we have got steel available with additives like chromium, copper, and nickel is available. So our issue is that ki in defense we prefer the item which are indigenously produced. And if suppose something is not indigenously produced, then also we rely more on the indigenous item so that key projects are not delayed because of the non-delivery of materials.
Right, sir. And definitely, if we are being so import dependent, and if any country comes out with certain kind of sanctions, that would definitely impact our own, production of if we are making any developing any bridges or buildings, and if we are being import dependent on certain grades and quality of steel. So thank you, Mr. AK Singh, for highlighting this important part. Coming to you, Sanjay Mittal sir, military infrastructure today is evolving beyond conventional buildings into strategic assets. How is steel transforming defense infrastructure development, sir? Sanjay Mittal sir.
Good afternoon to all the panelists and ma'am to you too. First, I would like to emphasize one thing. हम जहाँ खड़े हैं, अगर आज से 50 साल पहले जब हम आज़ाद हुए 75 साल पहले और आज हम देखें हम कहाँ पर हैं, दोनों में दो चीज फर्क आती है. डेवलपमेंट हमने किया, we have moved ahead very fast, no two doubts about it. But are we there where we should have been? We are totally dependent still. हम अपने देश में सब चीजें बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हर चीज बने, और उसमें सारी चीजों के प्रोग्रेस के साथ हमें इनोवेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट के लिए भी सारा मेहनत करनी होगी. खाली प्रोडक्ट बनाने से काम नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि अगर हमें मटेरियल चाहिए, मटेरियल कैसा हो उसकी खाली इंसाइट अगर हम ले लें और वो बना लें, उससे बात नहीं बनेगी. हम आज की तारीख में उन चीजों की बात कर रही हैं जो कि आगे से 50 साल आगे की हमें सोच के चलना पड़ेगा. अगर हम लड़ाई की बातें करें, पिछले जमाने की बात करें, भारत पाकिस्तान की जो लड़ाई हुई, वो पहले हमारे जवान जाते थे, आमने सामने लड़ते थे. आज अभी दो अनुभवों ने हमें बताया, बिकॉज एरियल फाइट्स हो गई, ड्रोन्स आ गए, सारी चीजें, और इन सारी चीजों से मैन टू मैन फाइट हैज बिकम अ very back story now. It is not possible seeing the aspects what they are today. So now when we talk about infrastructure, whatever we have seen in Israel, Iran, and all these countries, we have seen the infrastructure getting damaged to a huge extent. हम क्या ऐसे बना रहे हैं, सीमेंट से बना रहे हैं, स्टील से बना रहे हैं, उन सारी चीजों से आज भी हम वही चीजें कर रहे हैं. बट लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड, वी हैव टू डेफिनेटली वर्क आउट समथिंग जिसके ऊपर इन सारी चीजों का असर ना हो. हमें, अगर हम आज की तारीख में डिफेंस की बात करें, हम लोग वही ट्रेडिशनल चीजों में चल रहे हैं, वही स्टील की बात, उसी तरह के कॉलम बीम स्ट्रक्चर्स, उसी तरह बिल्डिंग्स जैसे नॉर्मली चलती थी. यस, डिजाइन पैरामीटर्स हैव चेंज्ड, वी आर वर्किंग ऑन दोस डिजाइन पैरामीटर्स. उन डिजाइन पैरामीटर्स के साथ साथ हम लोग फायर सेफ्टी पे ध्यान देते हैं. दैट इज ऑल वी डू एंड दैट्स ऑल वी कैन डू. आई वुड पुट इट दैट वे, क्योंकि जो चीजें नहीं हुई हैं उसके बारे में अभी तक सोचा नहीं गया, बट जो चीजें हो रही हैं डेफिनेटली उसके ऊपर थॉट प्रोसेस चल रहा है. Things are going to change, planning is going to change, materials are going to change. अगर हम बात करें खाली बिल्डिंग्स की, तब स्टील की बात थी, आज 550D 550D की बात हो रही है, क्योंकि वो स्टील इज मच बेटर, उसको यूज कर रहे हैं स्ट्रक्चरल इंजीनियर. हम ब्रिजेस की बात करें, उसके अंदर भी पीपल आर वर्किंग फॉर लाइटर सेक्शंस, क्योंकि हैवी मटेरियल तो लेके जाना है, नो टू डाउट, पर जिसकी टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ बहुत ज्यादा हो, विच कैन बेयर मैक्सिमम लोड in spite of being very light in weight. Those are the materials we are working on. उनके alloys के ऊपर काम हो रहा है. And I cannot say or predict कि कब तक वो सारी चीजें formalize हो जाएंगी और हम लोग उनको use करने लगेंगे. But yes, I see that in the near future we are definitely going to change all those aspects, and we are going to make a big difference in defense sector also.
Sanjay sir, thank you for that. And I want to ask you another thing. Defense orders
Yeah.
are often small in quantity. No, sorry. This question is for Shailendra. So, Shailendra, coming to you. So, defense orders are often small in quantity, but demand are extremely high quality, long qualification cycles. What are the biggest manufacturing and commercial challenges you are facing as a general stainless or a stainless steel company in serving this sector? Because अभी हमने सभी का सुना है as in from BrahMos, AVNL and MES and everywhere, कुछ part में we have developed certain grades, certain quality of steel. However, we are still being import dependent. So if you could tell us on this part.
So, ma'am, this is a very valid question, and there is no easy answer to this. So, like our company, earlier there was demand, there is in flat steel, there is very limited options available. So, I'm very happy to share with the panel over here.
Your voice
that
is
in
coming
flat
low,
steel-
Shailendra ji. If you could be little louder, please.
Is it better now?
Yeah. If you can be a little bit closer, yeah.
Yes. So I'm saying that in flat steel, uh, we have been supplying we have been there in the system for a long time, and we have taken special initiatives to develop many of the products which were getting imported earlier. So some of these were Russian grades, some of these are the European grades. So we have been able to develop into flat steel. Then our company have moved to long steel also, long products. And recently we have started forgings also. We are starting forgings. So forged products also we have started supplying. And ESR facilities also we have started last year. So ESR product also, which pointing out at the high quality requirement. That is what is the requirement from the defense forces, and this is what we will be catering to. And once our forging press is commissioned, we'll be able to offer ESR grades through our own forging. Now, the question which came was on the MOQ. That the question is a very valid question. So, and there is no easy answer to it. The how we are able to handle it, to the extent we are able to handle it, is that we try to see that in defense sector, the demands are fluctuating demands. It's a tender-based business. Sometimes one person gets, sometimes the other person gets. So within that fluctuating demand, you may not get orders all the time. So we try to see how our capabilities, how our infrastructure, how our equipment is able to cater to these grades, which can be used even for the commercial applications, because bulk of the volume, bulk of the business comes from that area only. So this still remains a challenge, and we try to mitigate it by clubbing some of the requirement or utilizing the infrastructure for the non-defense related application. So that is how, madam, we are able to do it. Some of the grades we have taken technology transfer also. So there also we are trying to support. So from our side, we try to support the defense forces and the nation building to the maximum extent possible. But if you are investing in facility, I saw one of the audience had raised this question, how to invest. So unless there is a visibility of demand from the commercial side, it becomes very difficult to focus only on defense and then take a decision on investment. That is what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Shailendra ji. Coming to you, Mr. Naidu, what are the biggest technological challenges in developing armor grade steels and special alloy steel within India? If you could highlight the biggest technological challenges. So please
Yes.
unmute. Yeah.
So I can make it in 3-4 categories of challenges being faced by the industry or manufacturers. One is having a metallurgical challenges, that is the development of high strength low alloy steels as per the given application. It's high hardness and toughness, both are required. And then second, we need to have a maintaining a ballistic resistance and at a varying temperatures. Like I can say one D20 material aluminum alloy is there, aluminum copper alloy. We don't need too much of that quantity, but still D20 is a special alloy with a high corrosion resistance as well as high ballistic resistance at higher temperatures, around 200, around 200 to 220 degrees centigrade. So these are the challenges. Like aluminum armor itself is a challenge for in the Indian scenario. We don't have much grades because of various requirements and MOQs. This is also one of the issues. And infrastructure. This is a metallurgical challenge, and controlling microstructure uniformly across the thickness also is a challenge. Then coming to manufacturing challenges, we got a vacuum melting, secondary refining capabilities needs to be in the manufacturing system. Then precision heat treatment processes are required, and then residual stress and distortion control is very much important. If you are making a big long sheets rolling, then a structure is a must, which is a very total setup itself is a costly affair, and also distortion control across the thickness 0.1 millimeter maintaining. So it depends, very high controlled rolling mills are required at various stages. Then when you go to material characterization, so we need to have a dynamic impact and fracture behavior study needs to be done, and high strain rate testing facilities. It runs up to 48 hours, almost some 30-35 days also it runs, for certain applications. And failure mechanism modeling needs to be done. Then supply chain issues like availability of alloying elements, as rightly pointed out by one of the previous speaker, availability of alloying elements in the right quantities and right quality with a minimum impurities, I can say. And high, we can say, dependence on import consumables and powders, especially while manufacturing this. Then we also got a limited ecosystem for the advanced ceramics and composites also. It is one of the constraint and challenge. Then besides this, we have a certification challenges also there. Extensive ballistic qualification requirements, availability of ATDs, availability of very high blast ranges to testing facilities, more than 15 kg, 20 kg TNT blast if you want to do. You need a big setup where now we are not equipped for that. And then the certification agencies needs to have ATDs and many other infrastructure things, and which now only it is growing because of the number of manufacturers of users has become more. So now it is going on. Now after that, lack of common standards and databases also is an issue with us, and very long development cycles. If I want a steel now, at least it may take 1 or 2 years for getting that grade of that thickness is not readily available, because you need to go to armor committee, you need to go to testing facilities, the availability and your slot availability for the blast or ballistic test. Then, so this is like I can make it a steel, like it is not a alone steel making, but it involves metallurgy, processing, ballistic, welding, structural integration, and then characterization of the plates at different thicknesses. So these are all the challenges what
So you mean to say if anybody want to invest into this industry, he or she has to get ready with the line of technical requirements and confirmations and certifications, and then the testing part of it. They need to be mentally ready first before investing into this.
Yes.
I want to raise poll questions to our audience. They have been waiting for the polls. So I'm launching a poll on the site. The polls are in front of you, everyone. So it is visible on the screen. So people who have joined from Zoom can start voting. The question number one is, what should be India's top priority for strengthening defense manufacturing? We have got four options: indigenous steel and alloy development, or advanced manufacturing and automation, R&D in defense materials, or stronger public-private collaboration. The question number two in front of your screen is, which steel application is most critical for rapid military deployment during emergencies? The list is as modular steel bridges are more important, or railway infrastructure, or military logistic vehicles, or airbase infrastructure. Question number three in front of you is, which area should receive the highest investments for defense infrastructure development? The options are as follow: underground bunkers, border roads and bridges, airbase and hangars, ammunition storage facility. And the last question, audience in front of you, is, can India become a global hub for defense grade steel production? Your options are yes within 5 years, yes within 10 years, possible with policy support, or the last option is challenging due to technology gap. So now, since I'm leaving all the questions for the audience to vote, coming to you, Architect Sanjay Kumar sir. During the COVID period, rapid construction became essential. What lessons from emergency infrastructure development can be applied to future defense projects, sir?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. Basically, COVID had opened up a door for so many innovations for all of us, including we architects. Now, whatever the challenges for space, normally we try to make spaces cozier than what used to be. It was like COVID said you have to maintain at least 3 to 4 feet of a distance. Even if it was a hospital, it was a waiting area, whatsoever. So the requirement of things had to be changed. Now, if such kind of requirement was there, you can very well imagine that kind of a space or kind of infrastructure requirement were there. So it is something we had to contemplate or decide how the things would be. Now, making a infrastructure for such a kind of a calamity was not easy. Now, what kind of things should be incorporated? We know we had crunch of time. When you are making infrastructure, you need buildings where you can keep people and yet keep them segregated as well. And in that kind of a structure, what should it be, or rather, how should it be that in addition to segregation, whatever hospital facilities can be provided, can be there and can be added to that infrastructure. So, number one, when we talk about hospitals, hospitals are well defined infrastructures where services play a very big role. When services play a very big role, of course, kind of when we are talking about the topic, steel is very big factor. In every structure we use steel. We can go for I sections, we can go for I could say when we have PBs, those kind of sections and all kind of buildings are there. But when it came to COVID, the infrastructure changed a bit. We had halls which were temporary, no two doubts, but to give them, I would say, where the people were safe enough to not contract the disease or give the disease to other people, both ways. So it was like this कि अगर हमने open भी structure बनाया, height भी control कर ली, but all other parameters अगर if we say like electrical parameters or जो building के tiles हो गई and the paramedic requirements हैं, toilet के infrastructure हैं, they were in the same way to be provided. So it was something we had to do something which could go very fast, yet it should be something where the patients were safe enough not to catch any diseases or catch any infections in the mode of their treatment. So that was a very tough time, and we really did few buildings in that time. And we had made our own parameters in addition to the parameters of as provided by NBC and other government bodies at the time. So in addition to that, when we added all those things, we were able to do, yes, but those structures were used maximum in those times only. Those are still there, but will, God forbids, if something of the kind arises again, those will be used easily then.
So,
Now
following the
reappropriation is
idea of fast construction during the COVID period, when where you built hospitals with increasing emphasis on sustainability and speed of construction, which was a focus during that time. How do you
yes,
see the
ma'am.
structural steel changing the way military hospitals, air base, or defense establishments are designed? You think वो speed की ज़रूरत अभी और पड़ेगी, because that was a lesson which we or maybe the architects or structural engineer learned during that period, then it can be done. So ये applications airbase or defense establishment में भी तो applicable हो सकती है when we talk about speed construction.
ये बिल्कुल आपने बात बिल्कुल सही की। अगर हम बात करें, हैंगर्स ले लीजिए, जितने हम लोग बनाते हैं बेसिस के, बाकी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाते हैं, उसके अंदर बिल्डिंग का जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है दैट्स वेरी मिनिमल, जिसकी हम बात करें। बट स्टील का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हैंगर्स के अंदर हमें कुछ ज्यादा स्पेशलिटी नहीं चाहिए। जब हम प्री इंजीनियर्ड बिल्डिंग्स की बात करते हैं दैट इज प्योर स्टील। बट अगेन प्योर स्टील अभी हम जमीन के ऊपर बना रहे हैं सारी चीजें। यस, वी आर गेटिंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस नाउ दैट वी आर प्लानिंग टू वर्क अंडरग्राउंड, that is the need of the hour. Uske accordingly, where our structures can be shell proof, if the bombardment is there at any place, so people are safe. Like in Israel, they are sent in underground houses whenever the bombing is taking place. Something of the sort will happen because we have enemies all around. We don't have friends. When in a situation like this, when you have to fend for yourself in all the bad conditions that are prevalent all around you with all your neighbors, so definitely we have to think again and go for the infrastructure which is best suited. And yes, steel is going to play a big role, and that too we have to modify and we have to reinvent what are the combinations. अगर हम बहुत पुरानी अगर बात करें, एक शिप चला था टाइटैनिक के नाम से, फर्स्ट जर्नी में इट crashed. Why? Most of the people, I don't know if they know, but the fact remain, जो उसका स्टील की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हुई थी, इसके कंपोजिशन हुआ था, एक एयर कूल्ड कमरे में बैठकर उसके सारी चीजें बनी। That was not tested in cold ice waters. The properties of the material then made, they all changed under the sea water, which was 0 degree temperature. So what we do is we have to reinvent things. We have to go for some material which are economical and cheaper also. Definitely it should not put a big burden on the country. No two doubts, infrastructure, defense, सब एक they come at a cost, but it does not mean कि for major people हम उसको ध्यान में ना रखें, कि न्यू इन्वेंशंस पे ध्यान ना दें, कि क्या कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ हम लाइटर मटेरियल येट स्ट्रॉन्गर मटेरियल की बात कर सकें। सो भी R&D शुड बी देयर, जहाँ पे सारी चीजें बना के करें, एंड देन जो चीजें बेटर हो उसका मार्केट भी डेवलप करना चाहिए, एंड सो दैट उनका यूज भी प्रॉपर होना शुरू हो जाएगा।
Sir, what kind of innovation you would like to see from the Indian steel perspective to support future defense infrastructure?
मैम, here I would like to add on, मार्केट में जब कोई चीज आती है तभी उसके लोग खरीदार होते हैं। पहली चीज, यानी कि अगर आपको खरीदारी करानी है किसी भी चीज की, पहले तो प्रोड्यूस करना पड़ेगा, पहले हम उससे भी पहले हमें R&D करनी पड़ेगी फॉर द प्रोडक्ट्स वी नीड, एंड बेटर ऑल्टरनेटिव्स तभी डिजाइन होंगे हमारे, उसके निकलेंगे जब वो चीजें बना के मार्केट में देंगे। सो पीपल जो बड़ी बड़ी चीजें बना रहे हैं, उनको एक ऑल्टरनेटिव मटेरियल की अगर जरूरत है जो कि बेटर सूटेबल होगा उनके रिक्वायरमेंट को, विद R&D हम लोग क्या कहते हैं मार्केट के अंदर ले आए, तो डेफिनेटली उनका यूज भी बढ़ेगा, एंड हमारी जो नई चीजें आएंगी तो विल डेफिनेटली मच बेटर इन द वर्ल्ड मार्केट एज वेल। आज हम लोग compete कर रहे हैं विद द वेस्ट, उनके यहाँ क्या है उसको लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उसी के साथ काम चला रहे हैं, बट क्या हम लोगों ने अपना इंडिजिनियस किया? प्रोडक्ट्स में आ गए हैं, आई एम नॉट सेइंग, अब बहुत सारी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो हमें दिखाई दे रही है कि कितने डिफरेंट हैं, एंड वी आर मच बेटर देन द वर्ल्ड, एंड इसीलिए हमारा मार्केट रिगार्डिंग डिफेंस बढ़ा भी है, अदरवाइज पहले नहीं था। तो ये चीजें अगर आएंगी, बेटर चीजें आएंगी, तो मार्केट भी बढ़ेगा, एंड डेफिनेटली हमारे को सबसे पहली चीज तो है कि कोई चीज बनाने वाली चाहिए, फिर मार्केट के अंदर उसका लार्ज स्केल प्रोडक्शन हो, फिर पीपल लाइक हमारे साथ संजय बरई साहब हैं एंड नायडू साहब हैं, दे विल हेल्प अस कि इन चीजों को कैसे यूज किया जा सकता है इन अ बेटर वे, उन प्रोडक्ट्स को डेवलपमेंट में दे विल हेल्प इन देम, एंड बिरला साहब ऐसी चीजें बनाने में मदद करेंगे।
Right, sir. Thank you, Sanjay sir. Shailendra, you want to say something? You have raised hand.
Yes, yes. So this is in context of what Mittal sir was just saying. So, sir, I am very happy to share with you we have developed an indigenous product in collaboration with the DMRL. So we have taken technology transfer for DMRL, and it is blast resistant steel. So in our view, originally the application was to protect against, to be used as to protect against mines for the tank, so for mine trawler. But now with the advent of drone and the loitering munitions coming from the top, I think for hangar manufacturing also, this can be a very, very suitable steel because this is very high impact strength, and it is stainless steel, it comes from stainless steel family. So even if you go underground where the risk of corrosion is high, there also it can be a very good product which can be utilized by defense forces. And you are saying that you have to come with products, so we have come up with product, and now we are ready to offer this to you and your usage and various other usages which as a user you can be able to.
I can add on to that.
Yes.
Ma'am, with your
Yes,
permission.
yes.
So it's like this कि आप लोगों ने चीज तो बनाई, हम सबकी नॉलेज में भी तो लाओ. Come to us,
Sir,
सैंपलों को प्रोजेक्ट करो, आप उसका क्या कहना चाहिए, प्रेजेंटेशंस दीजिए, क्या क्या चीजें करें, तो people will take decision and they can be added to our kitty.
So Shailendra ji, you know, you have to go and meet sir at Airbase Prayagraj to present your
definitely,
products.
sir. One of the air bases I have been to, but Prayagraj I have not been to. So, sir, definitely we'll come and make a presentation to you about the steel and various
And
applications.
Shailendra, coming to you, you know, I wanted to ask you one question. Like one of the panelists were mentioning about the price, that after all the quality parameters testing, of course, everything boils down to the price also, that it should match the expectations. When we were having a discussion, you told me that there is a fixed price for a year contract. So, what kind of fixed price contract extending over the long period can become difficult when raw material price fluctuates? If you could highlight that, and how can procurement model evolve to encourage greater domestic participation? As we are seeing with the geopolitical situation, the raw material sourcing and the pricing fluctuations are happening a lot. So, how do you manage that price fluctuation, Shailendra?
Ma'am, you have rightly pointed out, it's a commercial challenge and it's a Herculean challenge because it's not a regular day-to-day, it's not a product which gets made on a day-to-day basis. So we have to order the material and then supply, make steel to the defense forces requirement on basis of that material. So there is a long cycle. And what happens during this period, especially if it is high alloy steel, the alloying elements, there is a huge fluctuation in cost. But most of the tenders, they come up with only a fixed price contract. So it becomes a big, big challenge to manage our costs. So I don't have any solution for this. So basically what we do, the moment we get the order, we just try to book the material to the extent possible. But still, oil prices and you can't buy and everything in one go. Oil prices fluctuation is there, gas prices fluctuation is there. Ma'am, you're on mute.
So sorry. So what I was saying is pricing is something which government of India really have to plan out, you know, with the fluctuation of raw material prices, which directly, indirectly, you know, it's a cycle, chain reaction effect, that how it affect the end product costing. So definitely it is a concern. And Chalendra, looking ahead, which specialty steel and stainless steel grades will witness the highest demand in India's expanding defense and aerospace sector, as per you?
Ma'am, we are seeing a demand all across, increasing all types of grades, not only stainless, but also other alloy steel grades. And so we are trying to keep up with the requirement, and we keep on adding the facilities, increasing the capacity, as well as adding more equipment for further refinement of the products. So ESR facility we have added, electroslag remelting, forging facility is getting added. And going forward in future, we will try to keep pace with the stringent requirement of the defense sector, because their requirements also are evolving year by year. So we'll try our best to give the maximum support to the industry, to the
Thank you
defense
so much.
forces.
Coming to you, Anilji, but before that, audience, only 65% of you have voted so far. I encourage you to keep voting the poll questions. Uh, there were four questions on your screen on Zoom. The question number one was, what should be India's top priority for strengthening defense manufacturing? The question number two was, what steel application is most critical for rapid military deployment during emergencies? The question number three were, which area should receive the highest investment for defense infrastructure development? And the question number four, can India become global hub for defense grade steel production? I want to highlight that these poll questions are extremely important, and after each webinar, the report is being made, which we uploaded on mymetalogic.com. It's a portal, and you can find all the findings of this webinar, including the poll question, who voted what and who spoke what. So the entire program gets filed. So don't take it as just a webinar. So coming to you, Anilji, you mentioned that the most structural steel requirements are met domestically, while specialized armor or ballistic plates are still imported. What steps are needed to bridge this gap, sir? Please unmute.
Can you say again, ma'am?
So your voice is breaking.
I couldn't hear.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you're
Yeah,
audible,
please
sir.
repeat the question again.
Sir, the question was, you mentioned that the most of the structural steel requirements are met domestically, while specialized armors or ballistic plates are still imported. So what steps are needed to bridge this gap, sir?
Uh, that I told you that during the 2012-13, when one project was there, that time we have imported. But nowadays, this steel is available in India, and
And if you could
the
answer
firm
this
which
one
is,
also. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, Hindustan Steel Corporation, now they are making this steel.
Sir, which company you
It
said?
is available. Hindustan Steel Corporation.
Hindustan Steel Corporation is making the steel tile. Okay. And
Hmm.
how can
Armored
Indian
plate.
steel producers align with product development with the specific needs of military engineering projects? अभी just हमने एक gap देखा where Shailendra said we have developed and Sanjay ji was saying we do not know. So how can this alignment can happen, sir?
Ma'am, as far as we are concerned, under the building construction, things are available. I mentioned the only thing that cable stayed bridge may the steel cable that still we are dependent on the China. That anything as far as the structures are concerned, defense structures are concerned. As far as the armored vehicle, other things are there. I think innovations are going on because there the criteria is that it should be having good tensile strength, impact strength, as well as it should be a lightweight. I think in that area we are lacking in developments. R&D is going on. So soon it will be covered that also. Recently, I've attended a conference, other in Prayagraj only, wherein a lot of manufacturers, even the startup companies, has participated in that, and they have shown whatever things earlier we used to import, not only with reference to the building structure, with the other things like bigger vehicles, armored vehicles, and then a lot of army equipments, a lot of startups have come up. I think around 200 startups have participated in that event. So things are improving. Government is also focusing a lot, giving incentive to. I'm sure things will change.
Anil sir,
But
yeah.
what I mentioned initially, that India was pioneer in making steel long back. We have produced the steel used for that our emblem. That steel is still one piece is kept in Sarnath, other I think is in Delhi, and it is lying in open. That has not yet rusted. So we were pioneers, but now we are lacking behind. The government is now giving adequate measures, giving incentives, and a lot of R&D works are going on. This gap will also be.
Anil sir, do requirements of defense? Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes,
Okay. Anil sir,
you are audible, ma'am.
Anil sir, I wanted to ask you, do you believe the Indian steel industry is ready to meet the future requirements of defense and aerospace applications, or are there still critical gaps that needs to be addressed as per you? I just now. So maybe Sanjay sir, you can answer on his behalf.
पूरा तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बट मैं कुछ चीजें अलग ढंग से बताना चाह रहा था. इट वाज लाइक
हाँ
दिस
जी.
कि अगर हम पुराने के जमाने की बात कर रहे हैं, आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड ऑन और गिव सम इनसाइट. यस, पीपल, अब मैं इस तरह से शुरू करूंगा, आई विल गिव यू द आंसर. देयर आर फ्यू पीपल इन द डिफेंस सेक्टर आई नो जो वर्क कर रहे हैं हमारे वेदों में अलग अलग स्टील की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंड माइनिंग से रिलेटेड थे. दे आर वर्किंग ऑन दोस काइंड ऑफ सिस्टम्स वेयर उनके composition and way of mining, those are different from the latest ones. उनसे they are procuring steel and making lightweight structures. So what I know, हमारे जब लोग इतने सारे लोग करेंगे, companies तो हमें help करेंगी ही करेंगी, and these are capable of doing the best they can to provide each and every need of our industries of defense, not only defense, other steel requiring industries in the country. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरा करने में, बिकॉज वही वाली बात है, हाथ मिला के चलेंगे तो सब कुछ पॉसिबल है, अगर हाथ नहीं मिलाएंगे तो कुछ भी पॉसिबल नहीं है. हम दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए ही हैं, बिकॉज अगर कोई बनाएगा तो हम इस्तेमाल करेंगे, नहीं बनाएगा तो हम इस्तेमाल कहाँ से करेंगे, कहीं से लाएंगे, वो धीरे धीरे मुश्किल होता जाएगा.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sanjay sir. I'm sharing the poll results with you all. So हमारा question number 1 था, what should be India's top priority for strengthening defense manufacturing? Majority of vote has gone to indigenous steel and alloy development, and the second highest has gone to R&D in defense material. हमारा question number 2 था, what steel application is more critical for rapid military deployment during emergencies? The maximum voting has gone to military logistic vehicles. Our question number 3 was, which area should receive the highest investments for defense infrastructure development? And almost equal, two options have got almost equal voting. One is border roads and bridges should receive highest defense development investments. And second is airbase and hangars. Our last question was, can India become a global hub for defense grade steel production? And the majority of voting has gone to possible with policy support. I'm taking up the last question with Mr. Naidu. Naidu sir, looking ahead, what advanced material technologies will shape India's future armored vehicle programs? Sir, please unmute.
Yes. So, like, if you see that the defense requirement is a very huge area it covers. It covers and almost everywhere there is a steel application. The steel can be various types of steels. As far as our armored vehicles concerned, we are looking for a lighter and yet a very stronger material which can withstand advanced missiles, or you can say loitering munition, and also air defense, any missiles coming on the armored fighting vehicles. So for that, we are looking for higher mobility, so that after even after getting the signature, we should be moving out. So for that lighter material, if it is there, vehicle can move out immediately after sending a firing and all. So in general, if I say it's in a high entropy alloys, is the need of the which will have a superior strength to weight ratio, excellent impact resistance, and potential applications in armor and structural components. So these are high entropy alloys is the one of the advanced material. Then nanostructured steels, higher hardness and toughness, also improved ballistic characteristics. Then you also need to have, once the structure is made, to withstand any incoming threats, either kinetic energy threat or high explosive threats. We need high hardness and toughness, and also we need to have ceramic composite armor like silicon carbide and boron carbide, whether fused or chemically bonded. Weight reduction 30 to 40% compared to the steel armor is required. And then titanium alloys will definitely be a game changer, because titanium alloys will have one third, it can reduce one third weight of the any tank, just if you use a fasteners or any canopy kind of things, it can be used there. So the titanium alloys use also to be explored. Lightweight and corrosion resistance are there, and also useful in light tanks and amphibious vehicles. So if you see functionally graded materials, the gradual transition of properties across the thickness and also improved energy absorption levels will be added an advantage in future vehicles. And also, can I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Yes, please. Complete.
Yeah. Then additive manufacturing is also there, where complex geometries and reduced metal wastage is also required, and prototyping can be made within no time. These are also one of the advantage. And then smart materials and embedded sensors is also one of the material requirements. AI-driven material design, like alloy design, AI-driven is also taking a very the fast implementation of this is being adopted by many R&D institutes. Digital twins, reduced experimental cycles, and accelerated alloy development. And you have also metamaterials and energy absorbing structures for blast mitigation and signature management and future adaptive armor concepts. So these are all the primarily the focus should be on these material advancements, so that in near future we'll have a lighter and more smart and also a protected environment for our vehicles as well as any other application. And as for the audience sake, this is like maybe the armor sheets are used in various applications, is a heat treatable things is already available from 1960s in sale. Maybe people not aware of that and about the thickness. We are using 8 mm, 10 mm onwards from 1965 and 70s from sale. Now the lighter thicknesses 4 mm to 6 mm is a challenge where Jindal could not do, even now AMNS could not do, but SAIL is still doing. So there is a requirement of 4 to 6 mm thickness steels for any bulletproofing or any mine protected vehicles. It has to be developed besides all these varieties what I told. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. We have already exceeded that time, so now I will have to conclude the webinar. And before concluding the webinar, I would like to share a little banner with you all over the screen. Before we close today's webinar, I would like to take this opportunity to invite all our esteemed speakers and participants to Metalogic 9th Annual Conference on Make in Steel, Make in Bharat, which is scheduled to be held on 13th of August at Lee Meridian, New Delhi. So, viewers, India's defense strength is not built only by soldiers on the frontiers or sophisticated weapon systems. It is also built by the engineers who design them, the scientists who innovate, and the steel makers who provide the material that make them stronger, lighter, and more resilient. As we move towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, indigenization of alloy and specialty steel will remain a cornerstone of India's strategic and technological sovereignty. So we will be meeting you again soon with our next webinar on 30th of June, which we will be doing on coating of metals. Till then, thank you so much. Thank you to all the speakers for taking out time and have a great evening. Thank you
Thanks
all.
a lot, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you so
all,
much.
my co-speakers, co-panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you all the audience.
Thank you.
Right.